destroyed in super slow motion.
That shot. That's the shot.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely those of the original authors and their contributors. These views and opinions do not in any way represent those of MyTV staff, and or any contributors to MyTV.
A family is an epitome of God's love towards mankind. God designed us to live in families, and the Bible reveals that family relationships are important to Him.
But as a believer, do you feel that you are still struggling?
Maybe you're still struggling with your relationship,
Struggling with your finances?
struggling at work,
With your social life?
or with your spiritual life.
We invite you to join us
On our Family Table Talk every Saturday,
at 7:30 a.m. on MyTV.
or catch us on our Facebook page.
Bula binaka na turangan na marama daruno nelewa nonda wano alo manyo viti na vi mama ni vitu and na vi mataka ni Singapore Family Table Talk. We take this time to greet you and to say bula binaka all the way from England this wonderful morning. It's our evening this side of the world, and I believe it's 7:30 your time back in Fiji. We are here. Having barbecue and having dinner, breaking our fast with some church elders and some taltala, and in time for family table talk. I take this time to say Bula Binaka to those that are living in the village and also in our cities and towns, those are working this morning and those that are at home having your breakfast. It's an honor, it's a privilege to welcome you. Seeing us on big screen or wireless platform. Some of you are watching us on Facebook, not only in Fiji, but around the world. Bula binaka, malo ang bula siya bula re, dola bina. It's an honor, it's a privilege to be in together this family table talk on Saturday, 7:30 every week.
Bulavinaka. This is to those of you that live outside Fiji. We would like to say Bulavinaka from Viti, but we are actually here at Stoke-on-Trent in England, and we would like to welcome you. It's Friday in the evening, and it's such a good sight just to watch the family sitting together and enjoying their meals. Tonight, they're breaking their fast, and they're having tasty barbecue. Tonight was really, really nice, and I know it's your Saturday morning. And we had a great meal, and we would like to acknowledge those who have taken the time to make those meals. And it's really nice just to see the children running around and be part of the family. Well, it's family table talk. We talk about each and everything about family, the lows and the highs of life, the excitement and the downtime. So we would like to welcome all of you. And I know for those of you who get to hear this program on the radio Bulan Duavata for San Francisco, on the radio program, we would like to also extend our welcome to those of you. They take the time to listen in, and I believe it's a worldwide program. Thank you, Una, and the team for making it happen. And also, thank you to the families that are investing into that radio airtime program for the Bula Duavata San Francisco radio. So thank you so much for that. And we're looking forward to meet up with you in June as we come into the United States. So thank you. And to Australia, New Zealand, I know you're always tuning in, and also to the Wangani family on the way in Pennsylvania. And we to thank the families that we have been through to the country. Actually arrived here on the 29th. I believe we left Fiji, 29th of March. We spent one night, I think, at Cosford, and then we flew across to Northern Ireland. We were in Northern Ireland for 2 days and ferried across to Scotland for 2 days. Last night we were at Catterick, and today and tomorrow we will be on Stoke, here in Stoke, and we return to Fiji. So it's been a grand event, just seeing people coming to acknowledge God, worship God, with their families, with women only, and also men. It's been an exciting program. And thank you to all the families that has facilitated, not only from the New Methodist, but also for those families who have taken the time to come and join the program as we were coming around, and to Northern Ireland, especially when everyone is so far apart, to have your own program, have your own commitment. But for you to take the time to join us and attend one of those events, we would like to acknowledge that. And thank you for bringing your family to be part of that. Like tonight. Tonight is just a barbecue night, and we're having this family table talk. So thank you. Some of you maybe just woken up, having a topoi, babakau, and panikeke momokiti, and saparaki. I like saparaki. And whatever that you like. You know, like over here, we miss those kind of food. And but it's amazing. These people, they've tried to make that, and even though with the restrictions that they have, they still have their babakau, they still have all those Fijian food from home. And it's just a joy to be here with them, catching up on old times, encouraging them with words of hope, and also guiding them, with the questions that they have. So it's a good time of fellowship and a good time of family moments together. And thank you for joining in. And I believe for Saturday, we always have our rugby league for the school students that are out there. For silver, you're always playing out in Marceline, and I know it's going to be Central versus the Eastern schools today. And I believe that happens also for the Western Division and Northern for all your games. And it's Easter for us back at home. Friday, which was yesterday for you, I believe most of you have gone to church and most of you have stayed home. It's like a good long weekend that you can have family quality time. And I hope that everybody will enjoy that. And when they go back to work or school on Tuesday, you've had those quality times. Some of you have taken the time out to spend in hotels or go on cruises, and even visit and fly across to Australia and New Zealand. I've seen a lot of movements of locals that never used to happen before. And it brings about now the people are looking totally differently on the value of family. You know, they invest in their family like they never used to do before. And however that you've been spending your Easter weekend this weekend, we would like to wish you all the best. Please, if you're spending it with friends, if you have family, try and find some quality time so you can share with your spouses as well as your children. And sit and have an ear just to listen through. So thank you once again for being part of this program, being a follower of this program. It's amazing. From Northern Ireland, we heard a lot of feedback that a lot of you have been following this program. And thank you for taking the time to be part of the program. Jojo and also Manoa, thank you and your family, and also to Talangase, we take this time to say thank you, Talangase Matai and the wife and all your beautiful daughters, and Inoke, thank you. There's quite a lot, going around. Even down at Ketchwick yesterday, we had a group of ladies who came in and said, we've been following the program. We never miss the family table talk. We want a photo taken, and we would like to take this time to say thank you. You have been a silent supporter and just listening in, trusting in this program. Some of the things that you have shared, that you've taken and applied in your life, and it worked. Thank you. That's exactly the purpose for this program. We're not here to say that we are the experts. We're not here to say that we've done it and we know it all. No. We are all learning. So whatever that we share, you learn. And whatever that we get the feedback on, we also learn. So it's a learning process for all of us. At the end, all we want is to have an enjoyable family and quality time, and also appreciate your loved ones while we're all still alive. Yeah. Give this time to Gasilevu.
I also take this time to say Mulaminaka to those of you that are watching from correctional centers in Corvo, in Namoro, not forgetting Natambua and Waturukuka in Lambasa, Mulaminaka, not forgetting the soldiers in the Golan Heights in Syria, and also in Egypt, in Sinai Peninsula. We take this time to say Mulaminaka. All the way from England, Stoke, and we are saying Pinakabakalevu for tuning in to this program. Normally we try to stay away from church language and church lingos because we want to be at the same level as you are, regardless of what we face and whatever is coming around, and challenges, mountains, and the difficult situation that we go through. We believe that with our management and what we can do, we learn from one another. As Randini said, the things that we share from here, maybe you can learn. And feedback from you, we are also learning. Nobody is perfect. We learn every day. And we'll finish that when we are going down to our home that is 6 feet under the ground. So once again, Bulaminaka from Stoke, and that is Midlands in England. And today...
we wanted to try something different because we have quite a crowd here. In actual fact, we have invited them, but they're more comfortable where they are sitting. So we will get them to ask any question. We will try and answer anything that is family related. By hearing, maybe you can, learn from it as well, or take your cue from there. Whichever way, I believe it's going to work for all of us. So we will continue to talk until somebody raises their hand to ask the question. And whatever answer that we're going to be giving, it's going to help everybody else. Well, while waiting for somebody to ask a question, we can get the mic around, whoever wants to ask a question tonight. I would like to remind us again, for those of us who have been following this program, now it's April. Remember, 3 months have gone for 2023. Whatever that you have decided from the beginning of the year, and you haven't started, and now it's April, you will need to sit down, relook at your book, the list that you have written eagerly in January, with a lot of plans. Now, when you actually go through the process, then you're not doing, or you haven't done, or you've done only little. So this is a good time to check your books and check your list, and also take your list if you know that you have achieved some of the things that you've written from the beginning of the year. And also check your savings, please. Like I always say, whatever that you write, expenses, you'll never go without that. You need to spend, like in terms of your electricity bill, water bill. And I've always encouraged, get savings to be part of that list, like must-to-do list. Saving is a must, not like the way we used to think. If I have spares or if anything is left over, then I will save. No, saving has to be an element of your expense. It has to be there and part of your list, because only then you will achieve. Because if not, you will never. You'll always run. It's either you're running short of money, or you're saying that the money that you have cannot fit everything. Or when you're not making it as an expense, you'll end up buying some things that you never planned to buy, or invest in something that you never thought of it from before. So I would like to encourage you again on your savings. If it's hard for you to save, open another bank account within your account or another bank and do direct transfer, so the money doesn't come through your hand, so the money goes directly to that account. So if you know you're a spender, then you will need whatever list that you have written to buy a car. Then you have an account for your saving for the car. And if you're desiring to buy your house and a piece of land, work out how many years. So depending, then the number of years will be the new account that you open, either within the bank that you already have or with other banks. And whatever that you get on your pay goes, whatever that you're willing to put aside, save towards your car or save towards your house, but they become direct deduction. And if you are abroad, Australia, New Zealand, a lot of people have been living Fiji on this NAC program and the seasonal workers. And we have people here in Europe and America. A lot of people are living home. And as you do, you may still have your commitment to Fiji, if you still have your parents or you're leaving your family behind or your children, which means you still have to send money across, or something that you people have agreed for you to invest on. Well, open another account and put your money in there. So whenever you send money to Fiji, you will go to this particular account that comes out from your main pay. Don't put it together with your main pay, because when you're looking at it, you will think that you have a lot of money, but you haven't paid some of the bills. But when you align it to the different savings account, it will help you realize that whatever money that I have here, it's the only money that I can send, it's the only money that I can spend. Well, that's another reminder for our saving. I'm always an advocate when it comes to savings, because I see that we struggle to save. And I work in a company that has different levels of salary scale and different ethnic groups. And one thing that I've noticed, and it's quite common, no matter how much you earn and how high your salary may be, the borrowing of money is always rife. I know they are part of the club, but to have the money with you, savings in your account, I see a lot of lack in that. That we are very poor savers. We cannot save as much, which I believe that it's totally different from the Indo-Fijians. I grew up with them as neighbors. We do business together, and also I work with them. I had friends from that ethnic group, and I've seen the way that they live their life, and I've seen the way that they save and what they've achieved, even though regardless of the years that they're in. Very young. They can just enter, join, within 2 to 3 years, they're already buying their home, or they buy their car. Like they are all well planned and figured out and focused. While for us, it takes a lot of reminders, a lot of counseling. But the weekend, the singing ni rongoda, baka tomanda na bika mendaroni bukiken na maroi labo, e baka katuni like out of choice, nakanga bo garaw. So we can also like in the retire. We are nearly retiring age of 55 or now to 60. Then you realize that maybe you haven't saved any money until now. I remember when we started in this new company, we employed an ex-staff of TFL, and I knew he was working before. He was one of our, we know him. So when he started working, we were trying to do the payroll and everything. And imagine, he's already 45 years of age. Then we came to realize we were trying to process the payroll that he's never owned a bank account. So that is why, like for me, I will always, I know you don't want to hear it, but I will always say it. You need to save. And because we can enjoy all the money today, you will never know about your tomorrows. If anything happened to you, what about your children? If you lose your job, what about your family? And if you don't have any money, where are you going to stay? Those are the questions that you need to ask yourself every time, because life will not be the same all the time. And your time that is ahead of you, nobody knows that. Yeah, and that is the thing that I want to share with us on the same. Now, maybe we'll have questions that somebody can ask us this morning.
Amen. Gaslew kay Antiray. Kasambula binatal na.
Bula binaka talaga si Wanganao.
Hallelujah. Gaslew wambote ni sawo tsugo rosa bulu wata na mbaki. Na kena didi mane sugulutu. Wambote talaga ni dorongo na kimru wa daga binakatu. Sa walanga ni nduanga na daga. You both work as a manager in one of the recognized company in Fiji. My question is, how do we know may nangaw na ro daga tukina ngai bibang di takisaranga na kalo munro sambuta na namro daga to show us that confident after 20 years you're still doing exactly what God has called you to do?
Good question. Like we've never started to say, okay, we can start the church. I believe we were just a simple family back at home who just love to serve God. And all we did was having devotion, have a prayer. The whole program that the church is doing now, that's our normal family program. We have the only program that we've never brought across. It's called the 1 hour to midnight. Other than that, the whole program that the whole New Methodist is running globally, that's our normal family program. And it's full of prayers, full of praises, and just loving God. And come a time when, we've never planned to say, okay, we start the church. It just moved from one to another, full of youths. A lot of followers who are youth and come from broken homes. So at one stage, we had about 20 plus different children from different homes staying with us at home. And apart from sharing that 4-bedroom house, we have a group of mission boys of about 100 plus staying in the church property. And all this, we all ate from the same pot that I cook for my family, normal. We've seen how God worked, And I actually wanted to be the first one to leave because my pay was double than his. Like, I get less pay. So thinking, financially, I need him to be still working because of the finances. And one of our daughters was studying in New Zealand then. And we have two children who goes to private school, which is the Christian school. And yeah, but God did it the other way around. We were actually in Meru. And one of those moments, and he resigned. So I, in 2011, 2011, and it's never changed the way we serve our God. It was never about the church. It's never about building it up to what it can be. It was always the simplicity of just loving God for who He is. And to answer your question, how we have remained 20 years after, I believe what sustained us was the love for God, nothing else.
Yeah, it was something that you cannot plan. It's something that it's not in your brain. It's something in your heart. Like our heart guide us to what we are doing. Yeah, it was just love for God. The love for God. We extended our house and we built a prayer house on top, like the first floor. The only reason for extension is for prayer house. Yeah. And even our children, when they ask things, Pastor Ophia is sitting here, they don't ask us. They're still in primary school. We'll tell them, go to the prayer room and ask God. Then God will tell us. That's how close people will not understand till today. They will not understand how much we love our God. With the few days that we are together, you'll see the rate of I can't miss, because that's my life. If I miss 4:30 in the morning, like a chunk of me is taken away that day. Yeah. So to answer your question, it's just our love for God, nothing else. And because you have the passion or you have the zeal, you cannot explain it. Yeah, you cannot explain it. And it'll be seen in the result of what we do. As you will see, when we do something for God, it's either 100% se kuandaka. Me kunitaka tunakani kalu, me taka tunga merawa. Yeah. And that's how we. Yeah. So until we'll die, I believe until we die, our zeal and our connection for God will be like this.
But thank you for asking the question, and I believe for some of you that are listening to today, when the church started, you're quite skeptical, whether we're going to last or whether it's going to be there. But it's a good question asked tonight, and hearing the answer that we've mentioned, maybe that you can find closure to some of the questions that you've had, or you doubted the fact that, it's otherwise. And it's just simply just loving God. Any other question for tonight? Yeah.
Around and 12, and they'll be 16 in no time. So how the thing that lingers on the back of our mind always is, what if this person or this the kid that we've carried on for so long creates something or says something that is out of place, which also on the back of our minds is, it always lingers that if they do something, how will it look on me as a parent or my wife or those that are so close to us? So how do we control it, or how do we speak to them Or how do we, yes, we will speak to them daily. This place is not like Fiji.
Yeah.
Fiji is so easy and you can easily control them. But the things that they have access to and the numbers and the phone calls, the phone numbers they can call, or there are a lot of helplines that they can access to in order for them to find help. We as a parent, how do we cater for it? How do we speak to them and how do we control them to stay that the way they are? Yes, we speak to them daily.
Yeah.
But whatever they learn along the way, their friends, their peers, their same peer group that they mingle along with at school, that is something that we cannot control.
Yes.
The question is, how do we cater if something goes wrong?
Yeah, I believe it will be, the foundation that you can build with them. And the future and whatever that they go through, we cannot predetermine. But the assurance, which we always say that, for this program, not to be too churchy, but sometimes when the questioner asks, there's no other answer but being churchy. So, that question that is asked today, and I know it can be the same question that you ask in Australia, New Zealand, and America, and because of the exposure. Fiji too is, it's not as it used to be. I think we will be asking the same question too.
Fiji is just behind
Yeah.
Australia and New Zealand. So the question that you're asking
Applies to everybody.
applies in Fiji again. Even some of our Taltalangase, they asked the same question when we were there. Yeah. So it's a question to everyone.
Yes, so it's a common question. This is our only, a personal answer, personal experience. You can have the best one, or you may have heard something that is better than what we're trying to explain today. We believe it will be the foundation you implant on your child. You can teach them all the basics, tell them everything, and let them hear it from you, not from somebody else. And build up that connection, that bonding, closeness with your children, so they can be open to come and talk to you as a parent, because if not, they will look for somebody else who will listen to them. And sometimes for parents, especially parents that are in church, like us, me too, I'm a parent in church. Most of the times we expect our children to be very perfect. We don't even give them any room to make mistakes. And like if they do, it's like a big thing on you or the church, or it becomes like a big issue. Allow children to be children. So you teach them everything. Don't miss anything. Like I will share about my children. I've got 4. I had 3 daughters and 1 son. Growing up, I limit the things they watch. So I think they've rewatched movies in the Bible. Even until today, they will know which prophet, the Bible verses and everything. I even send them to Christian school, 2 of them. And we have our bonding. We pray together in the morning. We pray together in the evening. We talk. And I'm always open. So when they come and tell me this and that, or I've got a boyfriend, or I've got a girlfriend, I listen, I counsel. But one thing, sometimes we don't agree as parents, and it may be like for you people as well, listening today. Sometimes we don't agree how things are going. For me, because I was brought up in a very open-minded and very, open, like I'm open with my children. And I allow them to make their own decisions. I will tell them which way to go and which way not to go. If they choose to go in the way not to go, then that's their choice. That's from me. But for some parents, no, you want to determine which way to go. And you control the way for them to go. And for Fiji, maybe because not as much as in outside Fiji, you can still, get them now. If you use the belt or corporal punishment, somebody can report on you. That never used to happen in Fiji. So so you can be talking and they'll be threatening you. You don't tell me that, because if not, I'll take you, report you to the police. So the atmosphere at home is totally different. And the question asked, how can we control or, to predetermine what's going to happen, how can we help that, like to look for being proactive and not reacting when the problem happens. So, Kasele, we will share on it, but from my end, is just teaching them the basics, and you need to be close. You have to find that bond with your children. And I know most parents, they're not close to their children. It's either their house girls or fathers mostly are not close to their children. Because they are always thinking, okay, the money I'm bringing home, I'm always out for work. No complaint, because I'm bringing the money home, I'm bringing the food on the table. I'm paying for the rent, roof over your head. So we, as men, I see you give the excuse for providing for your family in not spending the quality time with your children. For us moms, we are always there with our children. We are always talking. Like for the children, if anything happened to them, they will not run to dad, they will run to mom. So when you're listening today and listening to that, I would recommend for us to find the time to sit our children down. Maybe you think, oh, I've gone past it, my children, they've grown. No, never too late. Find the time to speak to your children and find that bonding. And also children, if you're listening today, on your part, you need to honor your parents. And not only that, try and share with your parents and talk with your parents and hear your parents out. Sometimes they scold you, or sometimes before you even finish what you're saying, they're already telling you off. Whichever it is, they are always your parents. If anything happens to you, they are the ones who, feel the brunt of it. So I'll give this time to Kaselev to also.
Yeah, I believe we learn a lot by what we see, not with what we hear. That's something that as a toke, na kaendare and the wuri the sarabakavinaka, may na kaendarongada. We can teach our children all these things, but doing it, me tukurandine, dongo na wikito, dona kakitondo me ato maingo na devotion ekabi. Na devotion ekabi kisali dosani, on Kasele New Methodist and Varong. O global director ke ni New Methodist karon Varong. Bal kitu rosta tu na vi yakabi. O the leader, ruero na lead ko. Kero leader sani matake Joshua, everybody listen.